Hey, praise God. It's Brother Robbie, and just doing a quick video, just to give everybody a quick rundown of where I'm at on a lot of the matters that I've been bringing up in the last couple months. And I've been purposely trying to just change the subject. I've been getting my mind on lots of other different topics and whatnot, including woodworking. As you see, I'm trying to work on stuff like this. This is like a practice run. I know that if I don't practice and get stuff tried to go, I'll never get anything done. That's just kind of how I am. Same with my garage. I did a big old log, like a big huge shelf that fills up the whole back of the garage. And I tried a couple ideas. Finally, if I just try it, then I see it, then I can kind of feel out how I am. It's just kind of how it feels like how I do my work when it comes to creative type of things. And they take a long time to get going, and it takes a while for me to get it going. But after I get it done, I'm very satisfied that I feel like I really worked hard on it and whatnot. But anyway. So woodworking is something I've been trying to make the front room look really cool. That's just a work in progress as well, but that's one of the things. But also several other subjects, a lot about the early church and whatnot. So I guess I'm going to make this video kind of in regards to how did I go from a normal preacher, which I don't consider myself very normal anyway, a house church guy. I've been doing this for about 8 years. This is like my 8-year anniversary, or 7-year anniversary, or 8-year. I think feels like it's been my whole life. It feels like that. It's a really, really amazing journey doing what I do. And I can tell you that it's got its ups and downs like crazy. It's really, really an amazing journey. But I guess I'm just going to just kind of tell you how did I go from a person who doesn't like to talk about conspiracy type stuff to a person who was talking about the things I was talking about, and getting myself into a lot of trouble with some people thinking I've lost my head and whatnot. So I just wanted to give you a quick, I'm just going to run you right through exactly what happened as to how my head got over to that section of the world. And hopefully this video hopefully it makes sense. Hopefully it helps you understand. So in regards to the question that you asked, like why is a Christian promoting this whole phenomenon going on, and it's been named by a specific person, and that person is not a Christian, and what she believes of this phenomenon is her business, and what she named it is her thing as well. Her name, her thing, and her everything is all her own thing, and I've got nothing to do with any of that stuff. But why am I promoting a phenomenon that somebody who I got nothing to do with named it, is pretty much what I'm going to be trying to get at. And so I guess my journey begins right here with this thought. I purposely have been avoiding for years conspiracy topics at all. Like years ago when we first started the church, it was started with all conspiracy Christians, and we talk about that stuff for hours and hours and hours, and it's just like amazing how much we could talk about. And whoa, look at what's going on. Why doesn't the churches ever talk about this? We've done that a million times. But when we gathered for church, I knew it was not alright. I knew it was not okay to bring to the house of God. And I used the information, namely, for breaking the ice and starting conversations with people in divine appointments and whatnot. That's the only reason I've ever really used it. I've made a few videos about stuff on my Holy Mountain Productions videos about a lot of weird subjects. And I record all the time, and once in a while I actually work on it and put it and make a video out of the truck stuff, and it ends up on the Holy Mountain thing. So maybe 10 videos in 10 years basically. So not a lot of stuff on conspiracies that I work on. So how did I end up going back to focusing on it? Okay, so here's the story. About 2 or 3 months ago, maybe a little before I made that 30,000 guillotine video, is the first time I ever started talking about stuff like this again. And like I said, normally, in my normal focus, in God's call for my life, I purposely tell people, don't talk about this, don't even think about this kind of stuff. It's not going to help. Yes, it's true, but it's not going to edify, and it's not going to be the remedy for the problems that the church has. It's not the remedy. And that's just my own specific call. And I've just made it my business to tune it out for years. Mostly I've been tuning it out. So anyway, but there's a guy at my job, he was there before, um, very, very free with the mouth. Very free with the mouth. And I could never get a normal conversation with him for over 2 years that I've been there. And my truck is parked in the back area where it's like kind of no man's land, just because we have spare parking. I could leave my vehicles back there, and I don't have to take up room at my complex over here because there's parking shortage over here. So I keep my trucks, my vehicles all parked back there, but my vehicle's been getting siphoned and damaging my gas deals, so it makes it hard to pump gas. So I started parking it in, and then he saw my stickery truck, and he texts me out of the blue, which is really weird. I don't get texts from salespeople ever, and then to get one from him about my vehicle and wanting to know what I think about something was just like, whoa, this is so weird. I mean, to go from someone who all you can ever get at him is like something you'd hear on a gangster rap record, and that's all it is. Just constantly, just a lot of just like I'm like, well, I'm trying to hope it could be friends, but I could never find that connection. Somehow it ended up working, and praise God. But he sends this email to me, like, what do you think about this? And it was like a Patriot ad or page talking about the guillotines or whatever. And I said, I believe it, plain and simple. I said it's true. It's hard news, and I don't have any reason to not believe that stuff. I think that stuff, it could be very real. Most of the stuff in conspiracy world, I believe, is very real. So that was what kind of got me into it, because I looked at it and I started looking at a couple videos about it, and then all of a sudden, while you're looking at conspiracy videos, all of a sudden you also start to see something like CERN. And 3 months ago, I never even knew what CERN was. And I kept seeing Mandela effect stuff popping up, and I never even really knew. I don't think I've even heard of that. So that was like pretty new to me, and I was thinking, I better check out CERN. I want to know what this is. I'm like, what is this Mandela thing? Better pop that in there too, and checked it out. And actually before that, I was sitting here on Sunday with Kathy, and we were kind of having like, we don't do ministry on Sundays at a church anymore, so we've been off for several months now and having Sundays free, and we're kind of like not sure what to do. We kind of had that moment like we were like, what should we do today? And so we popped on some kind of video about guillotines or something like that, and it kind of shocked us. It kind of did something to us where I was like, wow, I guess there is a place for this patriot stuff. Like, it actually has a place for the church. Like, I feel like there's a steady diet. There's a lot of things that we should have in the church diet. Prayer and fellowship and evangelism and hard work, taking care of your responsibilities, taking care of your health, taking care of your family, your friends, and visiting those that are weak or whatever. There's a lot of things that should be normal life in the church. Exercise, whatever. But the thing that really, it shocked me that actually felt like it benefited me. And I was like, wow, I guess I was wrong. Maybe this does have a place in the church, because it really felt like it kind of clicked the switch and kind of woke me up and kind of got me something to focus on. And then we could discuss a little bit, and then we kind of got going and kind of got with our day. So that was kind of what made me feel like there is a little bit of room for this kind of a stuff in the church. So I kind of let my guard down as far as, no, the conspiracies. I let my guard down to let the conspiracies in a little bit. So I started to do my research, started looking, I saw certain videos popping up, I started looking at that, trying to catch it. I don't remember what I first saw about that. I can't remember how that really clicked. But after I saw the Mandela effect, now that one, seriously, that one really got me. I mean, that really hit me hard, because I was looking at things and firsthand knew that I was not looking at something. I was like, whatever's going on, I know that is not what I know. I know that is not right. I knew it was wrong. And so it rattled my cage so much. And after I found out, after I knew that I was going, now something is seriously, that is definitely, something's really going on, because I know that's not what it is. I knew the Berenstain Bears thing and Oscar Mayer. I knew those two, at least, and the other ones were ones I kind of knew, So, anyways, there's a lot of answers I've been going over in my head, this thing for the last couple months, 2 or 3 months now. And I'm just like, wow. So that's kind of what really grabbed me in the first place. And then it was like, I think it was about a week later that I did that, the pastor concerned on Mandela effect or whatever. And then the Minister Paul one. I'll tell you about that in a second. So I was talking about it among, first I talked about Kathy. I gave her all the questions and then she answered them. And it just turned out that she was already kind of on her own page. And she really wanted to know, she had some, because America's promoting like cannabis and gay marriage and abortion. And she wanted to put some really strong rebuke on the back of her window because she's been putting like paint pen on her window or whatever, chalk pen or whatever you call it, so you can, people write messages on their windows for selling their cars or whatever. Well, she would use it to do it for evangelism, and it was quite shocking. So it kind of made me nervous, and I was like kind of discouraging it, which is kind of strange considering how blunt I am and whatnot, and how open I am about very hard facts and things like that, just to wake people up. And she felt right to do it, and I discouraged her, and so she was kind of discouraged. She was kind of mad with me. And then I called her up later on and asked her all the questions about the Mandela effect, and she answered them all as anybody would. She wrote them down, so she had it in writing, and I showed her what's going on for now, and she was just totally like, whoa, that is so weird. Wolf? I've never heard of wolf. You know what I mean? And we were both just like, our skin was crawling. We're like, this is creepy, It really hit us hard. We were really taking it in, and I was really scared. I was like, this is not something I can handle. So when you saw me doing that Minister Paul video, I was really uncomfortable. I literally was. I wasn't acting. I literally had a lot of physical problems. And there was another thing I was dealing with as well, and that's because I was starting to run into people who are very, very hard talkers. And because I started to try to be friends with them, it started making me have like a lot of heart problems. And I don't feel like I'm supposed to be like that, because I just not. It's just how I used to be, and the Lord has been really, really refining me for a long time, and I got a long ways to go, but trying to forcefully talk strong again and be blunt and whatever like I used to be, it's just not where I'm at, and it's clear that's not where I'm supposed to be. So with my heart, as soon as I repented of that, I felt my heart calm down. So a lot of the heart trouble I was having was because of my trying to talk angry again and talking blunt and thinking those kinds of thoughts and planning my street preaching with more harsh talk like that. And the Lord was making it clear that that's not for me. It's like they can, but you can't, kind of a thing. And that's how we are. So I can answer for myself and not for anybody else, but I know that wasn't for me. And I had to learn the hard way. So I was dealing with this Mandela effect thing, and I was dealing with the hard preaching thing in my head. And my physical heart for a couple of weeks was having a lot of trouble. And right before I went to preach that Mandela effect sermon, my heart just, I literally thought I was going to die. I was like, God, I don't think I'm going to get through this. I felt like I was getting killed. It was the heaviest hit I've ever had, and I get royally smashed down in inconceivable sorrow and inconceivable beatings sometime between one sermon and the next sermon, And if that sounds crazy to you, you should listen to the testimonies of a lot of other people who have the same vision that God has given me. It's really, really serious thing. Like Spurgeon, even though I'm not a Calvinist, he said the same thing. He says, everybody loves to hear this sermon, but they don't know what I go through in between sermons or whatever. And it was really refreshing to hear him say that. He says there's a blackness in between the sermons that is just so heavy. And if you can get through that, then God's going to trust you with another word. And so, anyways, so I had a really tough night tonight. So I felt like I was really kind of just really talking real with the Lord tonight, just like, God, I can't do this. This is too hard. It's too heavy. And somehow I got a breakthrough, and I felt like I was supposed to answer back to this gentleman in a polite way, which I haven't done. I've tried to record this sermon. I've been trying to record this response to him for quite a while. He probably thinks I'm dodging him or whatever, and it just makes me more frustrated. Because I'm like, I don't even want to talk about this stuff. I'm done talking about this stuff. But that's where I was. I told my sister out in Tennessee. She contacts me another day or two later, and says, "What do you think about Minister Paul? He had an opinion about this thing too." And I was like, "I don't know who that is, and I don't know what he's got to say about it." And so I'm not sure if I watched it after I preached that thing or not, but I watched it. Whatever, just say I watched it after there, and kind of had it on my mind, and I just was like, oh, I'll answer, I'll check and see for you. And so she's been watching me for like 6 years. I've known her for a long, long time. And so I watched the video, and so a lot of what you saw was like how she knew me back in the day when I was talking more strong. But it really made me mad. It really did make me angry to see someone talking in such a way where I didn't feel like I was hearing facts. I felt like I was hearing opinions and, like I said, blanket statements and whatnot. It was really frustrating for me. I was just like, this is not the way to handle the brothers and sisters in Christ. If some people are saying they see something and you don't like it, I think I don't like the church just dumping everybody else into hell in their own little frame of mind. This is what I believe, and I'll throw everybody out there. I'll throw them off the boat, throw them off the bus. It's like, I'm glad God doesn't treat me like that. I'm glad, because I know I can go to Him. He's merciful to me when I come to Him, like the publican in the temple, and I'm pounding my chest saying, be merciful to me, a sinner. It's like, Lord, I'm going to come humble before you. Like the Bible says, they that wait upon the Lord, they shall renew their strength. Humble yourself in the sight of the Lord, and He will lift you up. And I know what that feels like. The broken and contrite spirit, He will not deny. He won't deny. He dwells in the high and the holy place, and those with the broken contrite spirit. And I like to be broken before the Lord because I need that strength. Anyways, so when you saw that video, that was like me teaming up in the old days, and it felt good to just kind of like say, you know what, I'm not going to be afraid of people anymore. I just got to tell the truth. You didn't handle that properly, you know. So that was what I said to that guy. That was why I said all that to him. But to this brother, why am I promoting this thing? I'm not promoting her agenda. I don't know what her agenda is, and I don't really care what her agenda is. Every Satanist has an agenda. Everybody's got an agenda in this world. Everybody has their desires, and they have their meaning and their purpose in life that they were looking for, or they're doing their vision in their life, or they're just growing in their vision in life. Whatever they're doing, everybody's got their own ideas. All I know is there's a phenomenon out there that is attacking the church, and even if it isn't real, okay, I can't prove it either way. I think there's things that are changing, not enough to throw the Bible away by any means, okay. I've seen things that just don't add up. People cannot answer the question why everybody says lion shall lie down with the lamb. Why does everybody say that? Okay, and no one can give a real good answer. There's been a couple good answers, decent answers, but not entirely, not really. People would have to be absolutely just naive to the max. Okay, I don't want to say any other word. Just exceedingly lacking of normal intelligence for just people all over the planet to say lion shall lie down with the lamb. Okay, the debunkers, they can't answer that. They just get mad and they just throw out stuff, and I'm not mad at you for that. Just don't touch the subject. If you can't use facts to do whatever, you just say, hey, I opt out. Just opt out of the mix. If you don't want to, just say, I don't really believe it's changing, but I'm not going to, whatever. Stuff is changing in the secular world, and there's absolutely nothing you could do to prove me wrong on that one. I know that stuff has changed. It has changed. How can you get around it? It's changed, plain and simple. There's a lot of changes. It's a lot of changes going on. And then in the scriptures is where it's a little harder for me to be absolutely, but like I'm saying, lion shall lie down with the lamb. Let's settle that one. No one can do it so far. No one has ever gave a really good answer. Nobody who debunks it can really give a solid answer. They get a little, well, I saw a little young lion in there. That's fine. But no one quotes it like that. Okay? So there's nuggets of solid facts on both sides, but really everybody knows a lot of these things in a certain way, and so I'm talking about the phenomenon. So my friend, I know it grieves you because with the frame of mind you're in right now, you're like, why are you talking about something? I don't care. Let's just take Fiona, put her aside. Take the title, Mandela effect, put it aside. Let's call it the D-wave effect. Let's call it the satanic effect. Call it the quantum effect. Whatever you want to call it. Just call it. There's something going on where things are changing and allegedly hitting the scriptures, and it's weirding me out. Okay, when the going gets rough, the rough get going, or whatever. When the church gets her tail kicked, it's time to blow the trumpet in Tekoa and sound the alarm. Something's going on, and it's not time to lay back in the hammock. I think we've been there a little too long. Okay, so when the church gets hit, it's time to wake up and say, "Hey, folks, I think it's getting serious. We might need to see it, understand it, and seek the face of God and find out what can we do about it. Because in our own strength and all of our awareness is not going to change anything." Okay, we've been doing things in our own strength way too long, as far as I'm concerned. So I'm not promoting the lady. I'm not promoting her agenda. I'm not promoting occulticism, and I'm not promoting a dual universe. All that stuff is absolute trash. I'm against it with every last drop of blood in my body. Okay, I'm against it because it's all trash. Fiona Broom is a liar. She's wrong. I don't know for sure what's changing stuff. Something's changing. Most of the evidence is pointing to this LHC stuff, and evidently there's more than just one. One's enough to make me go, wow. But evidently there's more, and there's more in China being built or whatever. Whatever's going on, I don't know. I can't prove that either. But I can prove one thing. Stuff is changing. Those are the facts. Can we deal with the facts in a factual way, in a careful way, respecting folks? See, I'm not doing this to try to bind everybody together. I'm just saying, let's bring the facts together, take a look at the facts, and make our decisions just wisely in the Lord. Okay.